How did we complete a song in 2 hours for the biggest music industry executives in the world? And what exactly did it teach us? At the end of this video, I'm gonna be showing the results of this session, and it is incredible. Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on the bell, and comment. Johnny be fast. Let's get into it. The first thing that I learned is that we need to identify the driving elements of the song and ignore everything else. I want to be able to at least walk away and say, hey, if this goes terribly, we got a couple of guitar licks and we are fine. The song has a vibe and it's not developed, but it is a vibe. Don't think of it as like, oh my gosh, I only have a little bit of time to do all this work. It should instead be, hey, what's the 1 or 2 elements that we can develop that will absolutely set the tone? So if somebody hears this, some kind of tastemaker, big industry executive, they're gonna still feel the energy of the track. So let's go ahead and hear the song itself. This is low key.
You don't wanna fall in love, you're far away. You thought you could sneak around and get some play. I wanna forget you, but I need you. It's a real damn shame.
And we tossed the guitar back and forth a lot, seeing what would come out. And this is the first pattern that we landed on. We only had acoustic guitar DIs, and that's what we had to work with at the time. No electrics in the house, no time to get them.
Fall in love, you're far away. You could sneak around and get some play. I wanna forget you.
Does it make sense now, me talking about a driver element should entirely define the vibe, and if nothing else happened, the song would still have a feeling? That's the goal that we want to accomplish. Once you come up with that driver element, it actually unlocks a lot of things around it, and that's what we found pretty quickly, and I'm sure you will too. Now, take a look at what happened when we took that same guitar shape and made a bunch of different permutations, and we took them and put it in different sections. Keep in mind, I'm not a real guitarist. I've never claimed to be. This is a demo production to establish a vibe, let us be clear. I would be making a phone call if that needed to be done for a final release. And again, same chords here. Just different ways of playing it. And then the fourth and final idea off of this same chord progression, different vibes. All this came from the premise of focusing on the driving element and then seeing what permutations we can create. And that was a massive time saver for this flow. The second huge takeaway is to have a curated collection of go-to sounds ready to go in this session right when we sit down. I want to talk about how you can do this for yourself, but more importantly, I want to talk about why, because the huge thing that's going to happen is we're going to be so focused on the chasing creative sparks off of this driver element, and you don't have time to be sorting through samples or going through libraries. You want to be able to grab and go as quick as you can. So taking some time beforehand and coming in with the session with stuff preloaded makes it so much smoother. Stay in that creative flow, everybody wins. Let's go ahead and dive in. The reference that they mentioned was Blind by Role Model. I will not play it here. Maybe this will be monetized. That would be cool, wouldn't it? But I've loaded in a collection of different clap sounds, loaded in a collection of like those really beefy Oliver snares that I knew would be probably in the arena, and some of my favorite Lex Luger and Oliver kicks to get us close in the ballpark. And even a couple of different drum fill transition sounds that had that thumpy characteristic I knew I might want to pull from and layer in. Oh, I love those. So now when we got our driver element down, I had things ready to go to just start adding and be able to quickly find something that would feel good, get us where we needed to go. Even if it's not the final snare, the final kick blend, it felt great and it got us to move on, and that's what I needed to happen. This is not an excuse to use the same kick, the same snare, and the same hi-hat on absolutely everything that you do. This is a starting point that favors speed and vibe over the technical perfection, and that's the case for this, but it's not going to be the case for a beautiful, unique final product of an experience of a song. Third huge lesson is to utilize those one-click fix-everything plugins as much as possible to keep you moving. I've been critical of these before, but again, we are favoring speed over here. Am I going to say that the CLA Guitars plugin has my favorite reamping of all time? No, but is it somehow working just enough with this acoustic guitar DI to get it in the ballpark? From this, that's doing just fine. And I can very much say the same thing about the God Particles. Here it is without. And with. Already taken us to the 85% mark to be stoked on a mix that feels cohesive. And as much as I knock on these things sometimes, they are incredibly powerful to get us where we want to go. Nothing left to do but give it a final listen, and keep in mind everything that we talked about so far in the video and how it applies hearing the entire piece back. Here is Low Key.
We keep it low key, act like like you don't know me. I pretend like it's okay. I'm just trying to make it go away. Why you acting like we were on a break? Now
Guitars build it up.
can't seem to escape. You don't wanna fall in love, you're far away. You thought you could sneak around and get some play. I wanna forget you, but I need you. It's a real damn shame. Cause what you did hurt me. How could you desert me? Wish I could say fuck you, but I love you. Have a real bad day. He drives a sports car.
Let me know what other ways you approach doing sessions quickly in the comments below, and please go show love to Elijah. He's incredible. And until next time, remember, kindness wins, and you're only one song away.